The truth is that the old and traditional model for personal trainers doesn't work anymore. And the biggest problem you have is if you don't adopt a new change, if you don't get on board, you're going to be left behind. It's what opened my eyes, and it's even what I based my book on. The quote from Tony Robbins himself: "Don't trade your time for money. It's the worst trade in the world." Now, what I'm going to be taking you through in this episode works for face-to-face personal training, building gyms, and also building your online fitness business. And the truth is, I only know this because I'm watching numerous trainers around the world right now build their own dream fitness businesses from the steps that I'm taking them through. And these are the steps that I'm going to be taking you through right now. Now, let's get some context and foundation so you can walk away from this episode being able to take action and see the results with your growth and with your own success. So let me ask you this first. Do you want more? More clients, more freedom, more money, more being able to do what you really love? And then a lot less of the stress, a lot less of the anxiety, a lot less of the questions and confusion of not knowing what to do to really bring about the business success that you're looking for. The traditional model that personal trainers have been running their business under means that you have a ceiling. There is a cap between the success that you're able to achieve. And this basis comes down to you selling your most precious asset, which is your time. Which basically means there's only a certain number of clients that you can see in a day and in a week, which means your income is capped. This also means that your ability to be able to help more people is also capped, which means your business cannot scale. Scale is where you're able to build and reach thousands and millions of people potentially, and to be able to have sales and customers beyond what you're doing right now. So what you need with that is the engine. The engine is what I call what is running your business day and night, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. This is literally what's running your business without you having to do the hard manual labor each and every single time. Which means you're able to grow your following to the people that you really want to be able to help and be able to go far beyond the reach that you currently are right now, and then you're able to turn that following into your customers and clients in a natural, easy progression, which means you don't have to be a sleazy salesman, you don't have to do the dirty tactics, you just do what you need, and that is delivering great value. The problem is though, it's hard, it's complicated, and it's probably really confusing for where you are right now to where you want to go. And that's why we need to break down these simple steps for you to be able to follow. If you've been trying to build your online fitness business but you're confused with what to do, or you're doing 101 different things and you're not seeing the traction, you're not seeing the growth and the results that you want, then this means we need to boil it down. We need to boil it down to the few things that really do matter, especially if you haven't started yet. You're thinking about starting with your online fitness business, but there's those 101 questions standing in your way. Let's bring it back to what works, and this is what's working for trainers and coaches around the world right now. As for me, for over a decade, I've been training and coaching body transformations around the world. From Sydney to Dubai to now living here in Bali with my family, I'm able to run multiple online fitness businesses and be able to have it work. Everything from online personal training to selling nutrition and supplements. I'm able to see what's working and have the upper hand of knowing that because I'm coaching and mentoring trainers and coaches around the world to do the exact same thing, faster and easier. To show you that this works, I want to introduce to you a client of mine, Jacob. As I know, Jacob started off with the same hassles and frustrations that so many others do, and then I know I had when I first started as well. And the biggest problems were the setbacks and the frustrations when first trying to get everything up off the ground and working with the online business. With literally following the 3 steps that I'm going to be taking you through, Jacob was able to go from zero to a thriving online business, and this is exactly what you're able to do for yourself. You can see here that this is his transformation program that he was able to create. Now for you, there are some really important takeaways to make. So to make sure that you succeed and you don't go through the pain of so many others go when their programs crash and burn and literally don't make any sales or very little. Before creating his transformation program, we made sure that the brand behind it, which was himself, had clarity and the strength of a following. Now, this is not about having hundreds of thousands of followers. It's more important to have raving fans. People that love what you do, soak in every article, every video, every piece of content you produce. The next important steps was that actually creating the program was pieced together knowing exactly what his target market wants. So what I want for you is to be able to create your perfect product and know what the main strength is to get going. So nothing short of great results for every person that uses it is what's going to happen. You can't just copy someone else's, but this is what you need to do. Now let's get into this first step, which is you creating your uniqueness. With this first step, we all know that the health and fitness world is saturated, but it is not competitive. This is where you need to be able to stand head and shoulders above your competition, and this is where you can carve out your slice of the pie, where you're going to have your customers, your clients, and them sticking with you for the long term. So what's going to separate you from your competitors? A couple of key questions that you need to be able to answer. And if you haven't yet, please write these down. Make sure that you go through these. What is actually going to be the reason why someone is going to part with their hard-earned money for you over what your competitor offers? What is it that separates you from everyone else? Why is someone going to be attracted to what you've got for them? These are just a few short questions that just scratch the surface for what I've actually had to develop hours of coaching videos that go into on a deep dive. But what you need to be able to do is clearly answer what is going to separate you and put yourself in the actual shoes of your customers. That's why I want to make sure that you get this right, because everything that you produce after you actually answer these questions, every piece of content, every social media status, every piece of value that you create has to have this common thread, this message weaving throughout it. Now, this brings about a point that I know so many health coaches and health professionals get bogged down in, and this is being able to decide on what is the target market that you're going to be working with. Who do you really want to be working with, and what's the result that you want to be working towards? And this is really important because you need to be able to be magnetic towards the right people, and then at the same time that means you're going to be repulsive towards the wrong people. Now, a clear example that makes this really easy to understand is, let's just say that you are a postnatal specialist trainer. That means your messaging is going to be very specific towards the postnatal crowd. Now, does that mean 20-something-year-old male bodybuilders are going to be interested in what you want? The answer is a clear no. That's not going to be. They're going to be repulsed to a point of what you're doing and just not interested. So which means the messaging, the words you use, the content you put out, the value that you give needs to be super specific to the people that you want to be helping. And this is where I see the big problem for so many trainers and health professionals is they're not being specific towards the people that they want to bring on. Even still, a bigger problem is I see so many wanting to look professional, sound great towards their colleagues. They want to sound great towards other personal trainers, but they're not talking the lingo, they're not talking the language that is actually the market. Now, the next step that you need after this is a sales funnel. All a sales funnel is really simply is just a connecting of the dots from someone that doesn't know you to knowing you, to someone knowing that they like and trust you, then to the next steps for what's needed to be able to get them on board as a customer and client for you. This is importantly being able to build a relationship and always you stepping up first, giving great value and making sure that that person knows that you're the winner, you're the solution for the problem that they have. Now, I've done numerous episodes and podcasts all on this, so you can go back to the archives, go into the library that I've already created. But importantly, you need to be able to connect the dots for your business for what is your target market to the steps that they need to be in. What does someone need to go through to be able to make the decision that yes, they want to come on board as your online membership or your online personal training or your coaching or the products that you're selling? These are the things that you need to answer right now, otherwise your business isn't going to bloom. The idea of a sales funnel is you just start at the top. You be able to put as many people into the top that is giving away great value, and through those those natural progression of the steps, you know that you're going to end up with a certain number of customers and clients. When you get to the point of knowing with your online business, of knowing how many people you need at the top, that equals how many people you're going to come out with customers and clients, this is where you can really scale your business and have that freedom factor come in. Now, most trainers, when I take them through this initial process, are totally blown away with how simple and easy it can be. And this is what we need to do for you now. So let me take you through a real life example. So here we have a website that should be the hub of your business, and I always recommend that your website should have one main focus, which starting off should likely be the list building factor. So this is taking someone that's engaging with your content and consuming it, and you have them opt in for more value so they can be able to see what happens. Now, with my example, we are testing out on a given diet guide, but this also means we're able to segment and immediately separate males to females. This means that our messaging is very direct and we are only giving them exactly what they want. On the content pages, you see a focus on the right hand side of the column, which is always pushing to the opt-in for free value to take those further next steps in the funnel to make sure we are always giving them what they need and what they want, and we're over delivering in that value aspect. Now, this really separates us from so many in the market, which means we can be obviously getting people signing on to members at a higher rate. Now, an example of the lead magnets, which are the pieces of value that you are going to be giving away, can range from guides to meal plans to cheat sheets to videos to audios to interviews. Really, it's any piece of value that you know your market wants, it's hot on their minds, and it's solving a problem for them now. Importantly, lead magnets need to be easily consumed. You need to think about the easy steps that someone needs to take to be able to get on board right now, consume what you've got, and then be able to see the results with what they're doing. Which then means when you're following up through them, which could be retargeting to emails, everything has that right messaging just because you know the problem that they have. That's what they signed up for and why a lead magnet needs to be very specific. Then you can make sure that the messaging, the value that you're always following up with them is exactly what they want. This means that you're able to take those natural next steps with them to make sure that you're signing up new customers and clients at a much higher rate. But importantly, the next step is so important, and this is where I see so many people overlook this, and this is creating your signature system. So what is actually the program, the product, the service? What is going to get your customers and clients the results that they're coming to you for? And importantly, attacking this in not just trying to copy someone else's. This is where you get to have the fun. This is where you actually get to use your skills, your knowledge, your know-how, your expertise, and be able to mold this into the exact right program needed for the fastest and for the quickest results when someone signs on. Now, to truly answer what is your signature system, we actually have to take one step before that, and we have to make sure that you've got the right business model set up. Your business model could range to include things from one-off programs to people buying just once, or to being able to include other products that are a perfect fit that go in after that they are offered it. Are you wanting to do membership sites that are being able to have large groups of people all at once and you feed them the content, which means you're able to get everything made up front first, to also having you being able to have more freedom with this? Or do you want to be able to run small groups, giving more direct contact with them, such as challenges, so you run people through a program at the same time, yet these can be sold over and over throughout the year? Or is it online personal training, the one-on-one method where you give fully personalized services for someone? Or is it a mix of all of these together, which your sales funnel obviously pieces together to make sure you're giving what's needed for each person, getting the results that people want and are coming to you for, and also maximizing your profits? The truth is, there is a huge amount of options, and this is the fun part. Though also, this is where so many people get it wrong and either end up with a business model breaking because it's not set up properly, or the business doesn't give the owner what they want because it's set up in the wrong way. Now, in the next episode, I'm going to be walking you through something really important, and that's why you don't need to worry why the online health and fitness world is saturated and what the steps are to get around that problem. Though importantly, what you need to be able to do right now from this episode to get the most out of you watching this and being here with me is you need to map out what is your uniqueness. Why are people going to choose you over your competitors? And what is your sales funnel going to look like? What's the business model that you need to be looking at? What do you want to be able to create? And what are the steps that people need to go through to become your customers and clients? Now, if you're serious about building your online fitness business, then make sure you hit the link below where I'll take you through the actual coaching sessions to piece all of these steps together in a nice, fast and easy manner, being able to give you what I give the coaches and trainers around the world so they're building their own dream fitness business. Just click the link below to get full access to it for free, and then I'll see you on the inside walking you through every step.